Oh boy, I'm not ready for the world. I just came back from the grocery store and I saw a white woman with a Trump bumper sticker on her car, and I told her exactly what I thought of her. I called her a dumb B word.
Hey guys, it's Angela, and if you voted for Trump, I hope that you can fight, because that leads me right into today's video, where that is exactly what one woman posted, and it makes me question, how far is too far? Because I understand being upset about an election, especially when many of these people believe that it was a personal attack on them, and now all of their identities and victimhoods are being ripped away from them and they can no longer leverage them. How far is too far? Is it too far to continuously threaten the life of people who voted for Trump? I believe so. Is it too far to tell women to divorce their husbands if they voted for Trump? And speaking of the men in this country, I am so proud that so many of them voted for Trump and are taking back their rights in a way, because for the last few years, the differences between men and women have become like the plague. And women hate men nowadays, and we want to point out everything bad about men, and we say that they're useless, we don't need them anymore. And so this election was very impressive to me, and influences like Joe Rogan, Andrew Tate in some sense, but he's a little bit too much. Also, JD Vance, he is an incredible influence. I'm so happy that men in this country are looking up to the right people and that they made the smartest decision to vote for Donald Trump. I understand that they feel like all of these rights are taken away, and they're so angry at men for voting for Trump, even though there are thousands and thousands of very intelligent women who voted for Trump. Might I say hundreds and hundreds of thousands, actually. But when you begin talking about how you're gonna leave the country because of the election, or you respond with a continuous anger and hate, screaming, it begs the question of why are they reacting like this? And I want to bring up a point which is a little bit ironic, because this is a reaction video, but in life, technically, we're supposed to respond to events, not react. However, what I see so prevalent in all of these woke freakouts is that these people haven't taken the time to reflect or even try to comprehend what has happened or why. They just feel like the entire world, the entire country is against them. They go on their cameras and their phones screaming about how they want to try again to Donald Trump, which is really messed up. How could you even say that? And yet they want to complain about their made-up rights when they're literally wishing death on half of the country continuously. It's just berserk. Please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel as we go through these videos. They are freaking out. They're reacting erratically to the election without even realizing why so many people voted for Donald Trump. So this lady says, if you voted for Trump, I hope you can fight. Yeah. Right? Where is the unity with these people? They're not even thinking right now. It is similar to them just being on a drug, an emotional high, unable to think clearly. Another quick note about the video we just watched is that she says, I hope you can fight like this, and yet she is secluding her arm from the rest of her body and losing so much power, and she's also putting her shoulder at a lot of risk. So when she actually punches something like that and the impact hits, she could dislocate her shoulder and the punch is not going to be that strong. So please do not worry too much about this lady. Don't let it keep you up at night being afraid of this lady punching you like this. So here is a mother going on TikTok to publicly blast her children for voting for Trump.
So here's a problem that I have dealing with my MAGA sons. They get very, very offended if I say that I think that they are ignorant to some things.
How about being ignorant to the fact that women are now making more money than men in, I don't know, like 11 to 15 states? Women are given promotions just for being women, and we get all of these benefits for being women, and men are being left behind. They voted correctly. So for you to call your own sons ignorant is just really mean. These people are just being bullies at this point.
Because of their support for this grapist and felon. But here's the thing. I have two choices when I try to understand why they would support an abhorrent human that goes against every value I try to instill in them. Here's my two choices. I can believe that you are ignorant, or I can believe that you are evil.
Oh.
Ignorant is the kinder choice.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I want to talk for a second about perception, because if you have ever talked to somebody about someone before meeting them, whatever they tell you about that person is really going to sway the way that you think about them. So these people, before ever listening to a rally or really immersing themselves in MAGA culture, might I say, they have watched The View and MSNBC, and they've heard those words, the rapist, the felon, and they've heard it over and over and over again. And so anytime they ever see him, they are unable to even listen to his words or understand at all, because they already have that preconceived notion of who he is. And this lady doesn't even want to go any deeper than that. She gave herself two choices, which was to choose whether they are ignorant or evil. And to really limit your own self that much just shows that you are creating this problem. If you think that half of the country, including your sons, is either ignorant or evil, then your own limited perspective of the world is your own fault. It's your own fault. It's not your son's fault. So we have people getting ready for Trump to go into office on January 20th. We have people at the Mexican border who are trying to escape their way in through a coyote. Very dangerous. Lots of kids are trafficked as well. Many people die during the route crossing the Rio. And we also have people like this doctor who is doing all my trans surgeries before Trump tries to stop me. Yes, because as if doing surgeries, which these people here on this tweet say that he does these surgeries to minors. So if you need to hurry up and do all of your crimes, pretty much, because that's what it seems like to me. If you're doing transitions for kids who aren't of consenting age, that seems like a crime to me. So if you need to hurry and get all of the crimes out of your system and do all of this crazy stuff before Trump gets elected, is just, it's weird. People voted for Kamala because they wanted stuff like this to continue. And they prioritized that more than our country, our entire country, everything that we are, everything that we stand for. And people are just so hateful right now. It's really sad, but I guess the only thing I can agree with Taylor Swift throughout this whole election is that the haters gonna hate. But I hate saying that. If this person says, y'all ugly. Hope someone puts a blank in your grandpa soon. You have to be so out of your mind, so detached from reality to say something like this and expect to be supported for it. But they have been tricking us this whole time. Their whole acceptance and all of that was all about love, but it's just about as loving as this post is. They just lie, just like Kamala Harris does. So it's understandable why they support her. And let's see, here's another crazy guy, but this is an Australian TikToker that wishes they didn't miss. People like this should be banned from the country, perhaps.
I'm going to say it because I'm Australian and I live in Australia and I don't have to worry about the Secret Service or the FBI knocking on my fucking door. And even if they did, more than welcome to come over. I'll make them a fucking cup of tea. I wish the bullet didn't miss. You're welcome.
Ew. Ew. And they act like they're doing something inspirational somehow, as if they're taking out a villain, because that's what many of them call Trump, a villain, as if we are living in a Disney movie. They have been played to their emotions so hard that they cannot logically think anymore. They are basing all of their decisions, like voting, off of emotion. And there needs to be a mix of the two. You got to have a little emotion, you got to have a little logic. But you can't just go online and post these kinds of things just off of emotion. and not even considering the words that you're saying.
Well, it's happening. The family wants to know what I'm doing for the holidays. I'm going to be here with my dogs and my daughter, who is of childbearing age and now has to get an IUD at 17 years old. And I'm going to be here with my son, who is a political...
Does she have to? She has to get an IUD. There's a difference between the word get to and have to. Nobody's forcing your daughter to get an IUD. Nobody is forcing your daughter to be promiscuous, perhaps.
Target, and that should really tell you all you need to know about why I'm not going to be hanging out with y'all for the holidays. So fuck off, choke on your turkey. Bye.
What I don't understand is why post your response to whether you're going to Thanksgiving dinner or not as a TikTok. Why do you want the whole world to see that you're struggling with your family? Why post that? I don't understand. You could have just sent it in a text message. I don't understand why she was relying on abortion and not getting normal contraceptive and birth control, right? It's like people are finally realizing that they've always had rights. They've always had rights. America, we are the land of the free, and we have so much freedom that these people wouldn't even see it if it hit them in the head.
Women who can divorce their husbands, I'm going to need you to do it today. And who can't divorce their husbands, look up Aqua Tofana. I didn't say to do anything with it. I just said to look it up. Women who can...
It's always the nose ring, isn't it? It's always this nose ring. And I actually just learned, because my dad and I were talking about it, that it's used to pull bulls. I didn't know that before. Why would you want that on your face? Do you feel like you have a lot in common with a bull that you need to have one of those piercings? But like, I've had my nose pierced before, and when I was living in Latin America, people would look at me like I was so weird for having a nose piercing. I was teaching at a kids' school. I was helping, and the kids would look at me and they're like, ew, like, what's on your nose? Like, what is that? And I was like, it's a piercing. Like, why are you guys being so judgy? So these people dress however they want, act however they want, and then act like some right is being taken away from them. Believe me, it is your right to dress however you want, but it is not your right to force other people to consider it beautiful, or to hire you if they think that it is not going to look good on the company. But that's what they wanted anyway. That's what they consider their rights. TikToker says she's not ready to go out in the world because she couldn't control herself from calling a female Trump supporter a dumb B word in public. Yes, she seems totally normal, right? She's super sane.
Back from the grocery store. Oh boy, I'm not ready for the world. I just came back from the grocery store and I saw a white woman with a Trump bumper sticker on her car, and I told her exactly what I thought of her. I called her a dumb B word. I don't even like that word, but so maybe I should stay home a little while longer because I'm not ready.
Maybe you should. And honestly, that's a fine point. If you need to disconnect for a second and go live abroad like all these people are saying they're going to, that's not a bad idea. It'll definitely help you put things into perspective and maybe realize that, hey, calling random strangers the B word for no reason is a little bit messed up. It's just crazy. White liberal women now giving each other advice on getting and updating their passports. Gosh.
Get your passports updated, or get your passport in general. To leave this country, you need to have a passport, and it needs to be good for 6 months past the time of you leaving the country. So check your expiration dates. Make sure you have everything in order, because you never know when you're gonna need to leave the country. Ladies.
What was with that look at the end? What I don't get is, why did it take Donald Trump getting elected for you to go get your passport? Why didn't you already have your passport? Why wasn't your passport already up to date? If these people are so culturally sound and they understand the world and rights and everything that they talk about, and they think that they have an understanding of the border and why it is that countries need to protect their nations or anything. If they have any sense beyond America, why is it that they are just now getting their passports? If they have already been traveling outside of the country, maybe they would realize, hey, America is a really beautiful and awesome place, and you can do anything. There's so much freedom here. Everybody has their own car. We're all so independent. Even young kids are independent. You would realize that our country is great, but why are you just now getting your passport? Is this your first time out of the country and you're going to actually finally see what the rest of the world is like? Go. Enjoy, but don't expect people to miss you. Like this person saying Christmas is early. This is amazing. This is great advice. Like actually it is. Go travel. Go to Afghanistan. See what it's like in other countries. See what rights women have. Look at this picture. Welcome to Canada. All the blue-haired people leaving. That's fine. But the truth is in America, you can dress however you want. You can have your hair blue. That's fine. And in other countries, they're going to be way less accepting of it. So go. Try it out for some time. Please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.